welcome out everybody once again to that Boom Bap Morning, that Remix Morning Show right here on Black Power Media. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor and your host today, Kalachi Jamachanga, and no other than Burn It Down, Kim Brown.
What up? What up? Philosophical gangster in the building alongside.
Good morning.
Burn It Down. Ear Doctor was popping this morning, man. How y'all feel out there?
Sleepy nigga, cold.
It's cold as fuck outside. Yo.
It's cold outside?
Yeah. Even in
Boy,
the day.
I don't even know what the Ear Doctor talking about. It's cold outside. We down in motherfucking ATL. People listening from Ontario and shit, living on the road.
Right.
You know what I mean? You talking about it's cold. Like you ain't from Jersey. Get the fuck out of here.
It's colder than the white man out there, man. Stop playing.
Hey, brother, it'll never be colder than the white man.
Ever.
You right.
Hey, hell ain't even colder than the white man. Dig that.
Hey.
Anyway, man, shout out to all the remixers out there. Shout out to all the good people out there who've been supporting our platform, Black Power Media. We appreciate you. We definitely appreciate you.
Ed Gooding Sr. from New Rochelle, New York, always showing up in the chat, showing love. Thank you, Ed.
From Nauru, what up?
Word.
Yes.
Hey, big up to all y'all. I hope y'all all had a great weekend. And big up to all it was a lot of dope shows this weekend on Black Power Media. Big up to everybody that tuned in yesterday to Sundays to Sundays. I had that Wu-Tang going on. Everybody tuned in. That was dope. Yo, Riot Starter TV was crazy. So many dope shows this weekend. Kim Brown did it, man. Listen.
Yo, Jared had a dope show yesterday morning as well, man. I Mix What I Like. It was definitely informative. You know, he rocked on with it. And we got a whole lot more to hit y'all with this week because of the fact that it's necessary. One thing we are attempting to do, and we need your assistance on, right? Mm-hmm. It seems like real heavy, like we are heavily shadow banned. Because there's no way in all of the green acres of the earth that we're not knocking this shit out the box. We just had too many dope people on this piece, man. We just had too many different legends and too many different historical figures for you to tell me that we're at the numbers that we're at right now. Now we're grateful. Yeah, we're grateful, but at the same time, we need you all to definitely hashtag Black Power Media. Definitely retweet and share and just send it out there to the good folks. And shout out to the folks I see in the street that say they check out what we do. So we definitely appreciate y'all, man. You know,
maybe at the end of the year, Kalonji, can we do like a roundup, like see where our progress has come and gone over these past 12 months? I mean, I think by the time I joined, we were at less than 10,000 subscribers, and now we're over 12. Now, I'm not saying that's because of me. I'm just making an observation. It might be.
Yeah, him up in this motherfucker.
It ain't even been a year, Kim.
Yeah.
Right. But here we are. I mean, people in the chat talking about channel has over 1 million views. I mean, no, these are not small milestones here, Kalonji. These are important steps.
Yeah. And don't get it twisted. You know, if it was 5 or 5,000 people listening, you know what I mean? We're grateful because of the fact that, to me, it's always a blessing when folks. To me, time is your most important asset. The fact that you can actually share your time and spend your time with people, you know, to me that's an honor. What's up, Jackie Lukman in the building?
What's up, Kalonji Jamachanga, Kim Burn It Down, Brown, and Inspector Gadget?
Oh!
She call him Badget.
Rookie coming in.
Badget, the black Inspector Gadget. She called you Bladget, brother.
Now I'm rocking the members only. I'm taking it back to the 80s, members only with the totes hat. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Somebody join Echoing too, man. What's up with that?
That's me. That's
Jackie. You come with Echo all the time.
That's me. That's me and all of my auras.
Just totally
hey, Jackie, I got to see your aunts perform this weekend on the Versus.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
We're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna come back after on the break. I'll holler at y'all. Peace.
All right, one love.
Peace. I'm wondering, can we see some clips from that, or is Versus going to hit us with copyright claims? Like they're going to get mad if we show some excerpts from the Stephanie Mills versus Shaka Khan versus.
Hey, I mean, I'm sure they will. I haven't seen it just yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Though. I definitely want to. I've been hearing some bad things about it, man. So
About Shaka and Stephanie, or about Versus overall?
Well, I mean, I've heard some things about Shaka, but I haven't seen it, so I'm not, I'm not sure. They said she was a little bit of tip to the CEO or something.
Dog, that's to be expected. That's how Shaka show up. Yeah. I've seen Shaka Khan in the club. I seen her in Platinum, Jackie Lukman, years ago. Shaka was drunk. Okay? Shaka was drunk, and this was not on Auntie night either. This was on Young Nigga night, and Shaka was in there toe up.
Yeah. I mean,
shout out to Shaka.
Yeah, I mean, I watched it, and a couple of things like struck me. If people don't know, Shaka Khan has struggled with substance abuse disorder for a long time, right. And she's had periods of sobriety. She's had periods, where she's relapsed, and this who knows. But I really appreciate like Stephanie Mills and the way she carried the whole thing, because that was just like the love and respect that they had, that Stephanie had for her, not making a big deal out of it. Just like, okay, sis, we just gonna do this. And I see that things are not entirely all there, but we just gonna do this. And it was, I hated the way people kind of clowned Shaka, but it's.
Yeah, we're strange people. We laugh at each other's pain, so that's just
no doubt. But she wasn't the only one to show up drunk. Didn't Keith Sweat also show up to his verses? Highly intoxicated.
Keith was girl.
Bobby Brown also showed up tremendously intoxicated.
I mean, but Bobby and Keith in particular, I think Keith sound better when he was drunk.
I always thought Keith was drunk when he was singing.
I thought I was drunk when Keith was singing. Trying to think, was I ever sober when Keith was singing? I'm confused. But anyway,
girl,
it's funny,
I've been
man.
Thinking about you all day long.
She having flashbacks over there. Burn it down. Look what they left me with today, y'all. We start off Tuesday, and I'm stuck with Jackie and Burn It Down, Ken Brown.
I mean, look, I want to be clear. I don't. Substance abuse is a real thing. It's touched my life, several times, and we're not making light of people's substance abuse disorder. It is a disorder. It is a medical condition.
Yes.
But getting tipsy is another thing. I think that's not off limits. And I think Keith was definitely hitting the sauce a little bit when he was thinking about his lost love in the studio. I
have to laugh at alcoholics because alcoholism is very prevalent on both sides of my family, and I've seen family members in less than proud situations as a result of being overly intoxicated. So I'm not here to try to make light of people having drunk issues, but I have to laugh at the drunk issues. I'm sorry, because that's my coping mechanism, because I've seen so much alcoholism on my side. So anyway, but we wish Shaka well. We want Shaka to be well out here, and Shaka knew she didn't have to show up drunk, but she did.
Or whatever influence she was under. I mean, it was obvious, and it was difficult to watch. But she's a fighter, and I think she'll be fine. We just keep lifting her up. No doubt. She's still Shaka Khan. I don't care what she's still Shaka.
No doubt.
Hey, that's a beautiful thing, man. I'm glad that that they're still around. Let's just say that. And there's so many other people who who are just not getting that love. And like you said, unfortunately, people look at the victim opposed as the culprits that put certain situations inside of the community. You know what I mean? Younger, we didn't think, growing up in the inner city, and myself being involved in being a unlicensed pharmaceutical technician. You know what I'm saying?
Representative.
Yeah, representative. I didn't realize, and we didn't realize the fact that this thing was actually these chemicals. It was biochemical warfare, and it's like these bastards actually said, "Look," it was like the cheese on the mouse trap, cheese on the rat trap type situation. Like, look, if you sell this little piece of rock right here, you could come up with all kinds of money, so on and so forth. You're not thinking about how you fucking up the community and just your race and just people, just humans, families, so on and so forth, because of the fact that you're attracted to the carrot on the string, you know. So they did a hell of a job with that, you know what I mean? But you know, oftentimes we forget about them. We talk about the crackhead, we talk about the dope head, and you know, the fiends and all of that, but we don't address, you know, where it all came from. So, you know, definitely
I think that's that's a great point, Kalanji, because and on the other side, we make these jokes about crackheads and fiends, and which is why I haven't thought Dave Chappelle was funny for a long time, because my family has struggled, that my family's been touched by that, and like I did the 2 shows a couple of months ago after Abdus died. I had an honest conversation about his struggles, and there was a lot of information in those videos. They were hard as hell for me to do, but I needed to do them because that's the kind of information we don't share with each other. We do not. The medical community understands why crack cocaine is so dangerous, so much more dangerous than powdered cocaine. And it's not because it's crack cocaine. It is because it is smoked. And that is true of every drug, because it gets into your brain faster and the high is much more intense. It is shorter, and that's what people chase. So people who are addicted to crack don't understand the addiction, and people who love people who are struggling with crack addiction, they don't understand the addiction. There's a whole science and medical rationale behind all of it that we were never told. We were just told we need to do something about these crackheads and fiends in our community. We need more cops, lock them up, So I would point people to those videos I did a couple of months ago about Abdus and his struggles, not just with substance abuse addiction, but also with bipolar disorder, and our struggles with the whole rehab industrial complex in this country, how it takes advantage of us too. So, nobody's like making light of the struggles our people have here. Sometimes we just do have to laugh when it's appropriate.
No doubt, no doubt. Yeah, and that's just that's just us. Like myself, I've always been a fledgling comedian in my neighborhood and in my school and all of that. I was the dude that at school, in the lunchroom, we hanging at 12 o'clock, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm always cracking jokes and all of that. And most of the serious quote unquote revolutionaries I know, it's the same thing. Most revolutionaries, most freedom fighters that I know are funny as fuck. The Rubas, the Balagoons, so on and so forth. You know what I mean? And that's how we survive this pain. It's another outlet. But we're gonna go to the ear doctor real quick. I appreciate you sharing those videos, Jackie, because of the fact it was necessary for the family at Black Power Media and beyond. But anyway, where you at, ear doctor, with that fisherman hat?
Yo, I ain't going front, man. It's definitely about perception, what side of the street you on. Cause when I had my pizza place, I hired some crackheads, and these were some of the funniest dudes ever. And we joked on them. They joked on us, and it was funny. Big up to Slim, big up to Haircut. I know y'all out there somewhere doing your thing. So big up to y'all. Anyway, we're gonna get to the weather report. So let's get to it right here on Black Power Media. Yeah.
Remix in the morning. Remix morning show.
Yeah. Once again, big up to Haircut, big up to Slim, big up to the kids I hired too from the projects, Quantavious and Ray. Yeah, you know that's a hood name, Quantavious. Big up. But anyway, yo, so once again, thank y'all for tuning in to the Remix Morning Show. In case y'all don't know what I'm gonna say by now, y'all should have told a friend to tell a friend that you need to hit that likes and subscribe button and make sure y'all get all the notifications and everything. Y'all know what's going down right here on Black Power Media. Go to patreon.com and drop some change in the bucket to keep this movement going and flowing. With that said, I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of weather around the world. So, where shall I start first? Let me go to Warwick, Rhode Island. That's right. Warwick, Rhode Island has a high today of 41 degrees. Never been there. Have no intentions of going. Pretty cold. Next, let's take it to St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis, Missouri today has a high of 51 degrees. Big up to Nelly and all the Saint Lunatics and everybody out there. Next, let's take it to Maputo, Mozambique. We have a high today of 86 degrees. Big up to Mozambique. And let's take it to the islands. Let's go to St. Thomas. Big up to St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. They got a high today of 83 degrees. And now let's take it to Murmansk, Russia. That's right, Murmansk, Russia. They have a high today of 12 degrees. Now, y'all know 12 degrees is colder than a white man. But you know what's cold? I tell you what's cold. This brother, Eric Jordan, and his daughter, Jade, 16 years old. They was out there at Winoshia, Wisconsin for the rallies. And they was out there like, yo, we're going to police our own people right now. And we're going to make sure that nobody try to take us out. Big up to the pops, Eric, for bringing his daughter out there, teaching her how to use that gun and making sure that the people are safe out there for the protests. Big up. Now, that's some cold. Shut your mouth. Now, let's get back to the Remix Morning Show, baby. Yeah. Yeah. And that's what it is. Hey, let me ask y'all a quick question. What age do y'all think y'all should start teaching a child to use a gun?
7 or 8.
Yeah, pretty. When kids start to learn how to, play nicely with other people and start forming, social groups and stuff. Yeah. And you start with gun safety and
No
doubt. I think I would say depending on their maturity, somewhere between 7 and 9. A lot of times when we would go to the range, we would see little 7-year-old white girls out there bussing. You know what I mean? So I mean, like I said, if they can handle it and they have that maturity level, start them off dry, some nice unloaded firearms. And if you're not an instructor, you don't want to just be out there yourself showing them. You want to try to make sure that they're properly trained, unless you are experienced. So definitely young as possible. A lot of times, man, folks, they want to talk this. Well, I don't. I'm scared of guns, and I'm not going to teach my children. Okay, that all sounds good. You better teach them something: a slingshot, how to throw a rock, knives, so on and so forth. So
that's
definitely,
right.
I would say
Let's police ourselves, protect ourselves, and brothers, let's continue to protect our sisters. I'm out.
Peace. Anyway, with that being said, let's go to the news real quick and talk about some of this stuff that we need to talk about. Remix Morning.
What is going on in the world?
Hey, the world's crazy. The world is filled with. Anyway, yes, welcome. We appreciate you all coming out, joining us this morning on this glorious Tuesday morning. On the Remix Morning Show. Yesterday, if you missed it, we did a I would dare say a historical show on Riot Started TV, and you notice that even if it's I always say we when it comes to these shows, even if I'm the host myself, because of the fact that it is the platform itself that has been provided, and also the people who join us. The show yesterday, in case you missed it, it was around the exoneration of the two brothers who were accused of assassinating our shining black prince, El Haj Malik Shabazz. While the folks that we had on was Paul Lee, which is a serious historian, and we also had Peter Goldman, who is a what I didn't mention yesterday. He has earned six of what will be the equivalent of the Pulitzer Prize for his work while over at Newsweek. He covered over 120 stories, interviewed all types of people, including Malcolm. So we got some serious. I don't even want to repeat what was said yesterday because of the fact I need you all to go to Black Power Media and look it up and check it out. Now, in saying that, while that was taking place, one of the youngest daughters of El Haj Malik Shabazz was found dead yesterday. One of the twins, she was found by her daughter. I had this story in my notes, but for some reason I'm lost over here. But I believe it was Malika. Malika Shabazz. She was, like I said, one of the twins, and Malcolm never met her. As you can recall, Sister Betty Shabazz was pregnant with twins when Malcolm was assassinated in the Audubon Ballroom. He was assassinated February 21st, 1965, and his twin daughters was born later that year, September 30th. She was 56 years old, and we want to definitely send our condolences. Timing is just eerie because of the fact that the whole exoneration situation just took place a few days ago last week. It was also the 19-year anniversary of the release of Spike Lee's Malcolm X on November 18th. And then we had this interview yesterday, and to find out that while we're doing this particular show, she was making her transition and was found by her daughter. So we want to send our love and support to the Shabazz family, and we keep them in our prayers, and and that's pretty much what I'm going to say on that. You all want to say something on that?
Yeah, I mean, the Shabazz family has been through so much, even when Brother Malcolm was here, the repression, the spying by the FBI, the betrayal from the NOI, and just then after he left, then the struggles that the family continued to have with some of the younger members of the family. And I think we have to remember that for the children of revolutionaries, it can be a heavy load to carry. That's an enormous legacy to carry, and we have no idea what it's like to walk in their shoes. So we tend to kind of lionize people who are the children, the offspring, the families of revolutionaries, when sometimes maybe they just need to be loved on, and they don't need to be held up as families of the martyrs. They just need for us to love them, and I think that we should not wait to love on these folks until something like this happens. And I'm not saying that those of us in attendance here are guilty of that, but I know that we do that. We think that because family members of these martyrs are strong and they don't need our support and compassion and love. And I think that's a huge mistake, that we're all people. We all need to be surrounded by love and kindness and tenderness. And dear God, man, let's not wait until people pass away before we express love for them. Let's just stop doing that. But just intensely sorry that this has happened, and that twin bond is very deep. So just so much compassion and prayer for the Shabazz family.
I want to echo that exactly, Jackie, because obviously Malcolm was assassinated. The family lost their patriarch. If we remember how Sister Betty Shabazz unfortunately departed this world, it was allegedly at the hands of another. I won't get into the details. You all can Google how Sister Betty left here. So the Shabazz family is without a doubt taking these hits of these traumas, and this passing of Malcolm's daughter is no less of a trauma, despite the fact, we don't know how she passed or the circumstances of her passing, but I'm sure it was very sudden and unexpected to her family. So absolutely sending love, and want to, again, echo what Jackie said. Like, after Malcolm's assassination, the family said that they didn't get all the support that people assumed that they got. So let's try to change that, right? Let's reach out and embrace the Shabazz family, especially during this untimely time with the passing of the daughter, and the revelation of who Malcolm's genuine killers were, or rather who they weren't. So thank you so much, Kalonji. And Anthony D, thank you so much for your super chat. Anthony D just ran us $25. He says, Kalonji, you continue to raise the bar. Beautiful interview. Rest in paradise to Malcolm's daughter. Thank you. Thank you for your contribution and for your support, Anthony.
Definitely, we appreciate it, Anthony, and to everyone else who has supported, and those who would like to support but can't support at this particular moment. We appreciate you as well. I want to say they've had several losses over the years. Malcolm Shabazz, which was Malcolm's only male heir, the grandson. He's someone I got to know while he was in prison for a different charge. I knew him since 2004, up until the time of his murder under suspicious circumstances down in Mexico a few years ago. He was murdered, I believe, at the age of 27. You know what I mean? And he went through a number of different issues, but he was learning. He was embraced by the community, but unfortunately, we have to keep in mind that when the state declares war on you, it's on you and generations to come. I know that oftentimes, I kind of get upset because of the fact that I take it personal sometimes, because I hear people talking about things that sound good in theory, but in practice, like Malcolm said, he said, a revolution is bloody. And if you knew what a revolution, and I'm paraphrasing, but if you knew what a revolution was, you get out the alleyway. You know what I'm saying? You get out of Dodge, because of the fact that you don't really want war. War is bloodshed. War is violence. War is death. War is carnage. You know what I mean? And, for someone like El Hajj Malik Shabazz to be stripped of his life at age 39, here it is, his daughter just transitioned yesterday at 56. He never saw 40. You understand what I'm saying? He never saw 40 years old. So we got to keep that in mind. The tremendous amount of power that this man had. And for all practical purposes, he obtained his level of consciousness probably the last 12 years of his life. One thing that we forget, and I also talk, and this is for folks who are often judgmental about people that don't know nothing, quote unquote. It was necessary for there to be a Detroit Red in order for there to be a Malcolm. You couldn't have had a Malcolm without Detroit Red. So I need folks before you to please don't be quick to dismiss people because of the fact that if 2021, the way we move and the way we judge people, if Detroit Red was here, he would have never made it to Malcolm because we'd have ran him off the block. We'd have said that nigga don't deserve anything. He don't, he's not going to be anything. He won't amount to anything. I'm here to tell you, I bear witness that I know a lot of freedom fighters, a lot of revolutionaries that before they were who they were, and many of them you love, before they were who they are now, they would be considered pieces of shit. You know what I'm saying? They were quote unquote gangbangers, as you say. They were quote unquote ruffians. They was out there wilding. Some people might tell you that might be me. You know what I'm saying? So let's not be so quick to dismiss people. One thing that our brother Kwame Ture said, he said, there are people you got to give them a chance. They mess up one time, you give them another chance. They don't get it right, you give them another chance. If they don't get it right a third time, then you off them. But you have to be able to give people the opportunity, because most of us on this platform listening right now, if we were to shake that closet out, it ain't gonna just be clean underwear coming out.
It ain't pretty.
So don't get it twisted. Let's keep that in mind. Anyway, so we send our love and condolences to the Shabazz family, and we pray that we stay on the right side of the barricades. All right.
Indeed.
Moving right along. I think my sister, Miss Burn It Down, got something that she wanted to throw up. I know she magic with them buttons now. Sister May and the Ear Doctor, and I gave her that tutorial. So she about to really show y'all what it's all about. Show them what you got.
All right. So as we all know, the trial in Brunswick, Georgia is getting ready to wrap up. The trial of the father-son McMichael duo and their good buddy, Roddy, who chased down and murdered, essentially lynched Ahmaud Arbery right there in the street. Their defense offered up some very interesting closing arguments yesterday. And I just feel like making y'all mad this morning. I'm sorry. Like, I know we're getting ready for the holidays or whatever, and that's important, but we also need to remember the people that are not going to have their loved ones with them this holiday season. And my heart breaks every time I see Ahmaud Arbery's mother, because really she is the picture and the pillar of strength in the most unfathomable circumstances you can even think of. So imagine Ahmaud Arbery's mother sitting in the courtroom listening to this bullshit. Check it out.
Creeping into a home that is not his own and running away instead of facing the consequences, acting erratically when approached, and making terrible, unexpected, illogical choices. But a mother's love doesn't fade from that beautiful boy in the ball cap to the young intruder. And sadly, no verdict can change the grief of that future not realized. The hope that he could have turned himself around. Because all we can guess about the young man is that his teenage years were full of promise, but his early 20s just led him in the wrong direction. The facts presented in this trial bear no resemblance to the story that the state told you in opening statement. A 25-year-old who met a brutal death after being chased and killed by residents of a neighborhood who wanted nothing more than to murder him for having the audacity to jog in their neighborhood. Not a single piece of evidence that's been presented to you in this entire trial supports such a hateful and gruesome set of circumstances. turning Ahmaud Arbery into a victim after the choices that he made does not reflect the reality of what brought Ahmaud Arbery to Satilla Shores in his khaki shorts with no socks to cover his long, dirty toenails. There were 2 sets of decision makers on February 23rd. It is not just the McMichaels decisions that led to this tragedy. And it is a tragedy. I see it in your faces, and I have felt it in mine.
Hallmars, if you are sick of paying.
So there's that. Now, what in the hell, this young man's, the status of his manicure or pedicure, I don't really know what that has to do with closing arguments. I don't know what that has to do with the facts of the case, but it definitely sounds like, you know, racist white people who don't think they racist talking racist shit in front of other races.
That I'm trying not to say that particular word, but that heifer stood in that courtroom in front of that man's mother and father and talked about his long, dirty toenails, talked about how the intentions he had being there that day. That man is dead. He is dead. Their son is dead. And that heifer stood there and tried to play off, a mother's grief, and then turned around and disparaged that woman's son, that mother's son, as if he were some, piece of trash. And I don't advocate violence. I just don't understand how that woman would and should ever be safe anywhere in her life again. I understand the need to maintain your composure and decorum and whatnot in a court of law, because, the bailiffs will drag you out and lock your ass up, for being human, for having a human response. So I can't even imagine what Arbery's mother and father are going through right now. I don't know how they sat through that and held their composure. But at some point, y'all, we got to throw this composure shit away. I understand that this is what the defense does. This is the kind of stuff that defense attorneys say. They put the victim on trial. They have to sow reasonable doubt and all this kind of bullshit. But at some point, we have got to throw composure away, and these people gonna have to be dealt with, and the consequences be damned. And I'm not saying that Arbery's parents should be the ones to undertake this. I mean, we need to be the ones. The response to this woman should not be on Ahmaud Arbery's parents. They got enough on their shoulders. What the fuck are we doing? That's what I want to know. What are we doing to address and to respond to the kind of unconscionable hatred that there was no reason for this woman to say the shit she did about that man. She could have defended her shitty, racist, murdering ass clients without saying those particular words about Ahmaud Arbery. And the only reason she did it is because she and her racist ass clients are some racist ass motherfuckers, and they're just being real honest about how they feel about that black man who those folks ran down with their truck and shot like a dog in the street.
What are the choices that she's referring to, though? Ahmaud could have made different choices. What choices? He shouldn't have gone out jogging that day?
He could have put on some socks since she was so fixated on his fucking manicure? I mean, it just...
Well, what's scary to me continually about this situation is, again, white people, racist white people will self-deputize themselves in order to accost, harass, and interrogate Black people who are strangers to them in public places about who you are and why you are there. And that is a big fucking problem because, number one, unfortunately, you got armed whites and this arm whites like the McMichael family and their buddy, because I saw someone talking about this on one of the political talk shows, and they really brought up a good point about the way that perceived threats are responded to. For example, if Ahmad would have ran up on them with fists, right, or if someone is running at you with closed fists, and they just run at you, right, like, do you have the right to punch them in the face? No, you actually do not. You know what I mean? Like, because that you would be the person undertaking the first part of that assault, right? But for some reason, people who are armed, when people run at them, that is perceived as a threat against their life. And the utility of saying that self-defense using deadly force is acceptable, it's not acceptable. But it's acceptable when you're Travis McMichael, his son, and their friend against someone like Ahmaud Arbery. These white people have any right that they want to stop us, to detain us, to fuck with us. And if we are of our correct mind and refuse or walk away, or God forbid even retaliate or respond, then they get to kill us. Right. This is what we looking like in 2021. This is it.
And that's pretty much what is it, Travis McMichael, the one that looked like, what Grizzly Adams' son on meth, said that, he didn't understand why, when he pulled a gun on Arbery, why he didn't just comply. And, usually when people pull a gun, because he was in the Coast Guard, that lets people know that, the situation is different. And, and it's this idea that we have any, that they have any right to expect us to obey them. That's that plantation. That's that plantation slave shit that they still have in their minds, that they believe that if they demand something of us, then we are required to answer them. Who the fuck are these people?
Even worse than that, Jackie,
that we have to answer them. I don't have to answer you.
It's papers, please. It's papers, please. Yeah. It's the 1850 Fugitive Slave Act. You see any niggas walking around doing something that they otherwise should not be doing, if they don't have their chains on, you have the right to approach them niggas and ask them for their papers. And if their papers are not legitimate, then you have the right, I suppose, to become the authority. And these white folks, these racists, have held on to that. They have not let go of that. And that has been transferred down throughout the generations. I have no idea why white people in the 21st century think that that shit is okay. But they do. They totally fucking do.
Listen, man, I'm sitting here and I'm listening to YouTube, and I'm just thinking about the fact that, I have children Arbery's age, right? And I'm sitting here and I'm just like, if you are looking for humanity to come from an inhumane people, then it's like you're chasing your own ass. It makes no sense for us, as you just said, Kim, in 2021 to even begin to think that after 4 centuries of violence been enacted upon, after 4 centuries of rape, kidnapping, dismembering, that all of a sudden this mindset is going to change. It's not about a Trump. It's not about politics. It's not about the fact that Ahmaud Arbery was jogging while black. It's the fact that we're dealing with a real life parasite. We're living with a parasitical entity that wants to suck all the blood away from you and wants to eat you alive, destroy you. it is not intelligent for us to, and I'm talking to our folks out here that's listening, it's not intelligent for us to walk around or to drive around these days alone. Because it's like you're playing Russian roulette. There's no way in the world that if Ahmaud Arbery and Kalonji Changa was jogging down the street together, that these piece of shit crackers would have approached us the way they approached him. The police, the Klan, these slave catchers have always had a gang mentality. They've always ganged us. It's always been mass lynchings. It's rare that one cop rolls up on a group of 3-4 black cats without calling for backup. You know what I mean? So again, it is not intelligent for us to walk around unarmed. It's not intelligent with all of this training out here for us to not work on our safety first, are defending ourselves. They say self-preservation is the first law. It's not safe anymore. It's not.
I mean, Kalonji, but I mean, I'm pretty sure Ahmaud, had it been a fisticuff situation, I'm pretty sure Ahmaud could have handled himself very well in that situation.
And he
what
already
the fuck
was.
do you do when the stranger is approaching you with a shotgun, whereas you are not even in that mentality? You are in your area, your neighborhood, an area very familiar to you, probably an area in which you grew up. Like, you're not in well, I mean, you might have grown up in a sundown town. The town that you grew up could very well be a sundown town. But my point is that Ahmaud he was home. You dig? Like, he wasn't somewhere he wasn't supposed to be, so to speak.
No.
And it's
he wasn't home. That's the thing, Kim. We don't have a neighborhood in America. You understand what I'm saying?
I feel you, but I mean, at the same time, there's places that we have spent majority of our lives. I understand what you're saying by that, and trust me, and I understand exactly what you mean, because I talked about this on my show Friday.
Yeah. We're living under. I'm sorry.
In my own neighborhood in which I grew up for the first 35 years of my life, I've been called a nigger in my neighborhood. I told the story on Friday on my show. I got accosted by a white woman who refused to let me leave a park area because she was convinced that she had deputized herself to call the police on me because my dogs were off a leash, right? So I've had white people try to assert their whiteness on me forcefully in ways to try to make me comply to their will. But at the same time, I don't walk around with a pistol. You know what I'm saying? Right. If I get into a situation where a cracker is armed and try to fuck with me, then what? You know what I mean? Like, who am I going to call? The police?
Right. But that's the thing. We don't live in neighborhoods. This is a colony. And that's the thing. That's the thing. It's under the guise of a neighborhood. We're not at home. You know what I'm saying? Hell, they're not even at home. They stole somebody else's shit.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about a holiday this weekend, this is a day to mourn. This is a mourning week. You know what I'm saying? This is the week that Akai Gurley was assassinated by the police. This is the week that Tamir Rice was assassinated by the police. This is the week that Katherine Johnson was assassinated by the police. This is the week that Sean Bell was assassinated by the police. This is the week that genocide was committed on the natives of this land in which Ahmaud Arbery was running on, jogging on. So my point is, whether you are strapped or not, you better roll with a crew. What I'm saying to you is, it as they say in the song, it ain't safe no more. As Wu-Tang would say, it ain't safe no more, because it's not. We are colonized people. You know what I'm saying? So we're in a big, giant ass concentration camp where we have we're in general population. You understand what I'm saying? But we think that we're free. And we think that because I grew up in this colony all my life, that I have some stake in this game or some skin on this road. But the fact is, this ain't our shit. It's like we're renting some shit and we could be evicted at any time, except we can be executed at any time. We can be kidnapped at any time legally, because of the fact that this legal system was set up illegally. You understand what I'm saying? So criminals set this shit up. And when they commit crimes against us, we like, I wonder if this motherfucker if he gonna get some time. That's a waste of time. Like Jackie said, I'm not gonna sit on here and say what we need to do. But This is what we need to do. What you say about if a nigga come breaking into your house, what you'll do, that's what we need to do if they try to step to you in the streets. You have to defend yourself like that's all you got. Like Malcolm said, it's got to be even Steven. You understand what I'm saying? The problem is it's difficult for us to get violent when we need to get violent.
I disagree with that. I think that the problem is that we know at the end of the day that if the white people, when the white people call the police, we know who the fuck is going to jail. Like, regardless of whether or not who antagonized the situation, who provoked the situation, the black person in a black-white conflict is going to jail. At minimum, if we survive, right? If we survive the encounter,
it's war, baby.
Going to jail.
It's war.
That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say because I got to roll because we have a 9 o'clock interview. But I was gonna say I think we're discussing this, and I'm sorry to cut you off, Kalanji.
No, it's all good.
But I think we have to stop looking at this situation, and this situation meaning the life that we have in this country, as if we are not at war. We are at war. These people are at war with us, and they've made that very clear. So yeah, there are going to be some losses in a war. Yes, but we got to be. Are we going to fight? Are we going to fight, or are we going to try to reason with the people who are waging war against us? I don't think that's how war works. That's not. When people have decided to wage war on you, diplomacy has already broken down. Right. So there's no reasoning with these people. We are at war. What are we going to do about the war we are in? But I might be back, y'all. I gotta roll on.
That's all right. Well, we appreciate you stopping through, hanging out with Burn It Down and we appreciate your words. We'll see you in a few ticks. Yeah. The only thing I would add is we're at this point, they're at war. We're being massacred. You know what I'm saying? So like Jackie was just saying, unfortunately, man, you know, it's like you have a dog, right? Now the dog, when the dog's barking, it's a warning, right? Whether the dog's scared, whether he's ready to get down, whatever. But when the dog stopped barking and he's made up his mind that he's going to go for it, he can't bark and bite at the same time, right? We spend too much time barking. They're biting. So until we get to a proper playing field and understand exactly what we're doing and what's going on here, then we're going to keep on having these discussions. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to keep on, you know, talking about this disdain. We're going to be upset. We're going to talk about what we need to do. But do we really want to do what we need to do?
Talk to me about because I'm curious, you know, about what you think Ahmaud could have done different in order to still be alive right now. And I'm really having a difficult time trying to come up with what that looked like. You know what I mean?
The only thing I can think of, two things, and we're gonna go to break real quick because I know we gotta go to break. Two things. One, if he was training properly, as close as he got to that shotgun, he could have disarmed homeboy. That's number one. And I'm sure Balagoon could back me on that. The second thing would be his only issue was he was jogging while black by himself. And that's why I keep saying that you cannot roll out here by yourself because of the fact that it's a risk. So if you're going to say, you're going to say, look, I'm going to be out there, but I'm not going to be strapped. Then it's just like, shit. I mean, you're a target. And that's just it. But we're going to talk more when we get back. We know we got to go to the ear doctor real quick. We also have Minister Server coming up next hour to talk about some good stuff. But we appreciate you all tapping in the Remix Morning Show. Ear doctor, take us away.
Yeah. What's good, everybody? So as you can see, bam, we on our Hip Hop History Month. Kim, you know who that is?
That's not you in 1998?
That is no other than MC Breed.
Ain't no future in your front, baby.
The D. That's
Rising
right.
Power, MC Breed.
Word.
Well, from Flint, Michigan.
Yes.
We're gonna give a little spotlight since it's Hip Hop History Month. So let's get into it, y'all.
Yes, Remix Morning Show. Burn it down. Blind Changa, ear doctor.
Hey.
What up, what up, what up? What's good, everybody? Welcome out to the Remix Morning Show. Once again, make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. We're going to talk about, it is Hip Hop History Month. It is November. And hey, the birth of God is in the building. And it's Hip Hop History Month. It only makes sense. So today I was like, I was mixing and stuff like this. My homeboy James Thompson, I believe in the chat room, always like, yo, you don't play no Midwest music like that. So I was like, you know what? Let me rock something out real quick. So we're going to start off real quick and give you a nice little introduction in case you don't know nothing about MC Bree. Let you know a little something about him. So with that said, MC Bree, also known as Eric Tyrone Bree. He actually used his last name as his MC name. So that's kind of different for a lot of people. So he was born June 12th, 1971, made his transition November 22nd, 2008. He had big singles. His big single was Ain't No Future in the Frontin', and also he had Gotta Get Mine, the song he did with Tupac. Now he's been out for a minute. He's actually had 9 studio albums, 2 collab albums, and 8 compilations. Pretty much he was on the scene for a while, straight from Flint, Michigan. And like I said, he pretty much was hospitalized back in 2008 because he was playing basketball and he pretty much, his kidney failed on him. So that happened. And then later on, he died in his sleep while at his friend's house chilling. So it was good to finally, not good to say he passed, but good to finally see somebody pass, not other than getting shot. So big up to MC Bree, one of the first out of the Midwest that made it big on the scene as a successful rapper. So if it wasn't for Bree, it might not be for who's coming up on my next break, which is my 5 top Midwest MCs. So we're going to get into that top 5 Midwest MCs right after this. So stay tuned. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. And I'll catch y'all back on the flip side. Let's get it. To the beat, y'all. Yeah. So you also have another verses that's coming up is going to be Bone Thugs and Harmony and 6'3"
3-6 Mafia, man.
There we go.
Where's that 6'3" Mafia at? Where's that 6'3" Mafia at? Let me find him. Let me see if I can
that's gonna be something. But yeah, for the Midwest, he was one of the first to come out of the Midwest and do it big. So big up to MC Bree. And that's that. You know what I'm saying? Had to give y'all a little bit of history on that.
No doubt.
Shout out to all the 313 rappers. What's going on out there? Royce the 5'9". What's up, Jay? Rest in peace to Jay Dilla. What's up to who was my other dudes? I'm hauling
Slum Village.
Slum Village, yes.
Yeah.
Definitely Slum Village. Word.
You had a lot of dope. I guess the Midwest is more considered like Ohio, Chicago, Illinois, and Detroit, Michigan. Or
Missouri.
And Missouri, yeah.
Yeah.
I hear y'all say nothing about Common, man. What's up with that, man?
Common. That's coming up on my top 5 Midwest people. We gonna get to that.
Okay.
So that's what it is. Today. Next break.
Today's.
I catch y'all later.
No doubt. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yes. Kim. They talking about Kim and Kalonji. We here now.
See,
surprise.
Look, y'all got what y'all wanted. The riot starter and burn it down. Let's go.
Y'all feel like doing? Okay,
no, ain't shit safe out here. Ain't shit safe out here.
It ain't safe no more.
They gonna send the Rittenhouses after us because we out here to fuck shit up.
Hey man, speaking of Rittenhouse, monkey ass. Let's talk about Rittenhouse because that verdict came out over the weekend. What was that, Friday?
It was Friday. Yep, Friday afternoon. As expected, Cal.
Last remix, he was asking about what folks thought about the verdict, right?
Yeah, we did. And it was pretty much unanimous. Like we all agreed that he would be acquitted. And he was acquitted of everything. Yep.
Now, you know, the ill thing about the whole Rittenhouse piece is it's like I've gotten so many texts and messages asking about what my thought was on the Rittenhouse trial. And I told folks I'm still thinking about Jacob Blake.
That's right.
It's like the ill shit about it is the pig who assassinated, not assassinated, the pig who paralyzed,
attempted to assassinate,
right, and paralyzed Jacob. He's back on the job, so he's rolling around in his patrol car, and he created the actual atmosphere for a Rittenhouse to exist, and for these other young men to be murdered and injured. So no one's talking about that. King said that we had a 6-day memory. Now I would argue that we have damn near a 6-minute memory, because of the fact that we're on to the next real quick. Everything is microwave. We're upset as long as the state say be upset, or we see something on TV, and then afterwards it's like we forget about it. You know what I mean? And there's going to be plenty more Rittenhouses. You know what I'm saying? And there'll be more of Shesky or whatever the hell that pig's name was that that shot Jacob Blake. But I'm saying all that to say that we have to be vigilant. We have to study. We have to train, and we have to join an organization that has a history of anti-imperialism. You know what I'm saying? Because of the fact that, you know, organizing is the key. Organizing is an extension of family. You know what I'm saying? So when you out here just willy-nilly, you have situations like with the whole Arbery situation, Mon Arbery, in which, you know, we both feel pain. And I think that we looking at it from different angles, because of the fact that on one hand, we like, I can't believe these country backwood redneck pieces of shit did this to this young boy. You know what I'm saying? But we have to figure out, how do we prevent more Arbery's? Because since he was murdered, there's been plenty of more, more that we don't know about. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know, in some of these little small towns, you know, it goes unreported, and it's almost a surprise that Ahmaud Arbery's case actually made it, you know, to national, international news, because oftentimes it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? They don't get there. What's your thoughts on that, Kim?
I mean, I think part of the reason why Ahmaud's case is being so well covered is honestly has everything to do with the whole innocence of him, right? Like Ahmaud, I don't know what they were referring to about his poor choices, or what the fuck that dumb bitch was talking about. The defense attorney talking about he had teenage years full of promise, but early 20s he went. I'm like, what the fuck are you even talking about? Like, even if he got into little dumb trouble, which again, I can't claim that I have followed this case 100%, so I don't know to what she was referring to, but I know that Ahmaud wasn't a convicted felon out here, and even if he was, he still had every right to be jogging down the fucking street if he so chose to. But the fact that he was so innocent, the fact that he was not guilty of doing the things that they had accused him of doing, of stealing or whatever from the house under construction, so innocent there. Innocent in the fact that he didn't have any idea that these people were even pursuing him. He didn't know what for. It's not like he was running away from them. He was just running. And it's the innocence of Ahmaud, the obliviousness to the danger that was literally on his heels, I think is what has elevated this case to notoriety. Because again, like what the fuck could he have done different that would have saved his life, at least from the perspective of society outward? I understand where you're coming from in terms of he should have been armed and perhaps he should have been better trained, which I don't disagree with. And I think that that's true for all of us who are not properly trained out here, myself included.
But I'm not blaming him. Don't get it twisted. I want to for clarity. I'm not saying I'm not saying he's guilty of nothing. He had the right.
No.
To
you were
run.
just saying what could he have done? I mean, literally at from a perspective that he would have been expecting something like this. It's something that he could have prepared himself for. But again, Ahmaud is like so many of us. I understand what you're saying, that we live in a colony and these are not our neighborhoods, etc. But we grow up in these places, and we perhaps mistakenly have the expectation, well, I'm in my neighborhood, I should feel safe, or my people live right up the street, I should be good taking this quick, half mile jog down the road, and not even think that something could negatively befall you.
Yeah.
So that is where I think Ahmaud's case jumps out to so many people, because this brother was 360 degrees innocent of anything, of doing anything wrong, except for being Black, right?
Oh, yeah.
And for being Black and being such a man that he knew that he did not have to respond or answer to any other fucking man, right? Like, nigga, who the fuck is you?
And don't get it twisted. Props to Ahmaud Arbery, because he went out like a G. He was laying the motherfucking Fifth Ward beads on dude's head. And that's what the situation was. And I saw someone in the chat. Yeah, definitely situational awareness comes with this. That's part of the whole self-defense process. And again, I'm not blaming him for anything for folks who may think that. You know what I mean? I'm just saying I saw him when he was, for example, when he was struggling with the shotgun itself. He should have got out of the line of fire. If he was properly trained, he would have got out of the line of fire. He was trying to get the weapon away from him, which is understandable. But when you're in certain situations, you want to make sure you're away from the weapon itself. You know what I mean? And then he might have would have stood a better chance. That's all I'm saying. He had the right to exist. He got the right to live. But please understand that being a runaway slave in captivity is not popular amongst the ruling class. You know what I mean? We have to understand that this is, again, it is a colony. You know what I mean? We can dress it up. It's like folks in prison. A lot of times, you see a cat in prison. He not, the cell is to his liking. He not made it home. You got to make make wherever you live your comfort zone. So that's how it is out here in general population. We have these homes, and we're able to decorate it as long as the HOA or the neighborhood associations don't have a problem with it. You understand what I'm saying? We manicure our lawns, so on and so forth. Then all of a sudden, if someone wants to come, they want to declare eminent domain, then they come take your shit and give you what they think it's worth. If they want to come set you up and lock you up, then you get locked the fuck up. If they want to assassinate you, want to murder you in your own home, like they did 92-year-old Captain Johnson 15 years ago, right here in Atlanta, on November 21st, then that's what they do. And they'll plant drugs in your home and say that you were selling drugs when in fact they had the wrong house. You understand what I'm saying? Or an Akai Gurley.
The problem is that we have so many of us. And again, I'm not going to exclude myself from this, right? Because we are receiving contradictory information, right? So the society, I'm talking about the at-large white society, and our bourgeoisie black folks, tell us you can transcend racism. You can overcome these obstacles of racial discrimination if you stick to this very specific script, right? Okay. Education, right? That's the first thing out niggas' mouth. You want to better yourself. Education, you know what I'm saying? Educate yourself. Understand, how to get your finances correct, right? Like, we are given this nonsense information, but on the other hand, the reality of the situation is that, we don't have basic human rights. So I don't see how we or I or whomever can transcend racism and the racist violence that our people are constantly subjected to, and at the same time be told that, well, the reason why y'all don't have is because y'all don't try, y'all don't work, your family structure is all fucked up, and if y'all got y'all shit together, maybe you could ascend. But it's like, no, we don't even have the right to exist and mind our business in public spaces. We do not have Second Amendment rights to bear arms and defend ourselves. Like, Like, stop selling me this bullshit about American exceptionalism and how niggas wouldn't be able to be as successful as we are anywhere else but here, right? But at the same time, I'm very much 3/5 of a person still, and that has not changed.
Well, the thing is, I would say this, man. The only time the field nigga should listen to the house nigga is when the house nigga is talking about burning down master's house. When the house nigga is talking about taking over the plantation. When the house nigga is talking about putting some broken glass in the master's food when they're preparing it. If the house nigga ain't talking about that, then the field nigga should be deaf to what the house nigga talking about. So the mix, I mean, we have the choices we have is either to rebel or not rebel. It's either to be free or to be a slave. Those are the two choices you have in America. There's no fucking such thing as no financial freedom here in America. You know what I'm saying? If you're not playing along with what the state is telling you to do, any nigga can be a nigga when they decide to pull your card. And that's the actual fact. So until we decide that, look, this system was never designed for us to advance, then we'll continue to, jog while black. We'll continue to be victims. You know what I'm saying? But, it's not, it's not designed for us to succeed. We weren't brought here to be successful Negroes. That wasn't the nature of our relationship. You understand what I'm saying? We were very clear about the nature of our relationship when we were chained on those ships, in the hulls of those ships, and we were dropped off in these different plantations and around the diaspora. You know what I mean? We knew our relationship to these people at that particular point. Now we want to act like we forgot, or all of a sudden there's been a change of heart in the last 60 years. I mean, you got to realize that we're talking about. I mean, the Black Panther Party just commemorated their 55th year anniversary, and they were fighting for what? They were fighting for our human rights. Mm-hmm. They were fighting for self-determination. That wasn't even 60 years ago. Mm-hmm. Now we're acting like all of a sudden we've arrived at some point where we can make it as successful Negroes. The fuck
no,
out of here.
Yeah, no, we have no rights of citizenship, right? We really do not. And again, I know the Panthers were working on self-determination. I know the king, like the King Lanes of niggas was working on the right to vote, etc., and economic freedom. And it's like, okay, well, we've had the right to vote since 1965, and here we are, 60 some years later, and our right to vote is already, well, number one, it's never not been under attack, right? They've been trying to take that shit back ever since they passed it. They're like, oh, this is a terrible idea. Why do we say niggas can vote? This is bad. We got to start rolling this shit back. And again, we are seeing that. So we have to stop buying into this sales pitch of America and what it is and what it could be. And aren't you glad now that Black children and white children can sit together in school? No, I don't give a fuck about any of that, to be perfectly honest, because that does not, in my opinion, this is a whole nother separate conversation, but integration was not the move for us, and I don't feel as though Black people have benefited a lot from integration, but that's another subject, because it has misled us into thinking that we are on equal footing with white people, right? I went to school with white kids, so I know that these niggas ain't smarter than me. Absolutely not. But they got more bread than me, and their parents have a lot more influence. And if we got in trouble together, their parents can make the call, to get them out of trouble. Whereas I got to deal with the trouble. You feel me? So we have to stop selling this shit to our children. Also, you and these white kids are not the same. Are you intellectually and more righteously superior to them? Yes, but is it going to be? Are you going to be received that way in society? Absolutely not. And the sooner that we prepare our young people for this reality, I think the better we'll be. But a lot of us older people, and I'm gonna throw myself in here too, have to understand the limitations that we experience just in our daily lives as Black folks. And we like you said, Kalanja, we can't take that shit for granted. And again, it just breaks my heart that Ahmaud Arbery, a young man, trying to maintain his physical fitness. You dig? Like he did not even have the right to do that. And that just kills me inside. It really does.
let me ask you something because of the fact that you mentioned voting right, and since we asking each other questions now. What when you vote or when people vote, and this is a serious question, what is the expectation of the vote? What are the expected results? I know what the desired results can be, but what are the what is expected when you say, okay, I'm either gonna vote for this motherfucker who I don't like, or this motherfucker who I don't like, but I just don't like this one as bad as I don't like that one. So, I mean, it helped me because I'm just, I don't have a degree. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, ranting
Temple
and
charged me
raving.
too much for this one. Temple charged me way too much.
Come on, tell me something, man. I need to know.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, Kalonji. To me, voting is simply a personal expression that I use as a tribute to my ancestors who shed blood for me to have this right. I have no expectation that my vote actually means anything. I have no expectation that the person or people, even who I'm voting for, are going to do something drastically different to change the material conditions of our folks. I lost hope, and I'm ashamed to say that I even had any hope in the electoral system. But 2000, baby, like 2000. I mean, I was a good Democrat. Ooh, good Democrat. I'm gonna vote all blue. We're gonna vote all blue. And then in 2000, the American system showed me, oh, we will just steal elections. Oh, you didn't think we'd steal elect? Shit, watch this. And they stole the election from Al Gore, who, again, I know now is a piece of shit, but at the time I was like, oh my God, George Bush is the worst thing in the world, which he was. let me not take anything away from Bush, but so after 2000, I'm going to say I think I voted for Obama in 2008, and I don't think I voted for president since then. I vote local down the ticket if there are congressional races, if there are city council races or attorney general, like if there are state races that are occurring or local races that are occurring, I vote those. I have not voted for president, I think maybe like the past 2 or 3 election cycles. Because I wouldn't go vote for no fucking Hillary Clinton. Are you niggas crazy? Like, but Trump. Yes, nigga, but Hillary. Are you familiar with Hillary Clinton? Like, again, I can't make those decisions. I can't choose between this demon and that demon. Like, either way, I'm voting for a demon. So I use voting honestly as a personal expression, as a way of paying tribute to the ancestors whom voting meant a lot to, right? And I'm not gonna disgrade that. And listen, I don't even have a problem if niggas just show up and write in votes. Do you know how many members of the Wu-Tang I have written in for elected office here in the state of Maryland? Like, I think just me showing up to vote is good enough.
Okay. Well,
I don't have no expectation of any real political power being built because we vote.
I appreciate your answer. I was always taught that the whole ancestors' right to vote. The vote was for self-determination. You know what I'm saying? They died for their right to self-determination, not the right to necessarily cast a ballot. Casting the ballot was a tool to use at that particular time and moment. You know what I mean? So I think that when I look at our ancestors, I look at ancestors like Malcolm. I look at ancestors like George Jackson. I look at those brothers and sisters, the Harriet Tubmans who were looking for self-determination in another way. I understand, you know what I'm saying, the concept. But like I said, with me, voting would be strictly for self-determination. And right now, I don't see it as any self-determination, except for maybe on a local level because of the fact that I know I can get this stop sign put up over here or this traffic light put up,
right,
so on and so forth. But we're going to take it to the brother Earwax real quick, Dr. Ear Doctor.
Hey.
And then we going to rock it from there. You're checking out the ReMix Morning Show, y'all. Appreciate y'all sticking with us.
Hey, yo, real quick. I think a line that gets thrown around sometimes, I think we say that our ancestors fought for us to have the option or right to vote. instead of saying our ancestors died for us to vote. I think they fought.
I mean, y'all can look at it however you want, because guess what? I mean, while you're doing your segment right here, I can Google the names of 10 niggas who died, literally, who got lynched while they showed up to vote. So, I mean, if y'all can say that niggas didn't shed blood to vote, okay, I'm gonna dispute you.
No. I'm not saying, again, my point is just in saying that, you know, you do certain things to get other results. You understand what I'm saying? It's not necessarily like, you know, doing this right here means that this is the end all be all. You know what I'm saying?
Of course
Exactly.
not.
So that's what I meant when I was saying, like, expected outcomes. You know what I'm saying? Is it self-determination, or is it to hope that a motherfucker pass a bill? You understand what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I'm not knocking, because of the fact that as far as I feel, you know, we all grow. Like with Dr. King, a lot of folks criticize King, right? King was 39 years old when he was assassinated. But part of the reason he was assassinated because of the fact that he began to he began to think internationally, think globally, and he began to speak out against the war in Vietnam, and they knew that he had influence. So no longer was it just like, I have hope in this system. It became, America has cashed a check that their ass can't cover. You understand what I'm saying? And we need a proper response. So I think that's more along that line. But anyway, we go.
I wait a minute. I was saying I was pretty much saying, like, for the people that don't vote, like, it seems like it's almost a disrespectful term when you say our ancestors died for the right to vote. It's like, nah, they fought, and some died for the option and right, because some of us didn't want to vote. And that's what it was. So thanks to our ancestors for giving us that option. Big up to our ancestors.
I mean, listen, when I say our people, I don't mean every single Black person in the country, right? But I'm talking generally about our people. So when I say our ancestors, I don't mean every single ancestor that was lynched for the right to vote. But there was a good many of our ancestors who showed up to vote and showed up to register to vote, and they were met with nooses. You understand? So how else am I supposed to interpret that?
No doubt. So with that said, all y'all people out there, it's time for a break. Let's get to it. The Remix Morning Show, y'all.
No doubt. All right. We're here tonight. This morning, whatever it is.
Yeah. What's good, everybody? I go by the name of the Ear Doctor, and we rocking out once again on the Remix Morning Show. This is Black Power Media. So we was talking that Midwest. We still on our hip hop month. And we rocking out. So we're going to talk about my top 5 Midwest lyricists. And not just lyricists. They got some other stuff going on with them. But let me start off with no other than, we're going to go do it like this. We're going to start off with Royce the 5'9". That's right. Royce the 5'9". He has 8 studio albums, 6 collaborations, and also has a Grammy nomination for the Algorithm album. So big up to Royce 5'9", straight out of Detroit. You know, he also hooked up with Slaughterhouse. So that was another group he was down with, rolling with. And he did his thing. So that's one of the MCs I give it up big time to. Next, I'm going to go over to Lupe Fiasco. That's right. Lupe Fiasco has 7 albums. He did his thing, especially with that Food and Liquor album. That joint was hard. Lyrics, oh my goodness, he has them. So next, we're going to go over to, back to Detroit. We're going to go over to Big Sean. That's right. Big Sean has 6 albums. The dude can spit. He has lyrics for days. He talks about various subjects when it comes to just wordplay, all that, and also dealing with personal issues and all that. So big up to Big Sean. Next, we're going to go up to no other than, that's right, Yeezy. We're going to go to Ye. Ye has 10 studio albums, 3 collab albums, and he's been doing this thing. Also, one of the richest Black men in America. That ain't got nothing to do with the lyrics and the rhymes, but it is what it is. Next, we're going to go up to no other than the brother who has held down the Midwest for a very long time. Big up to Common, who has 14 studio albums, over 40 films, over 40 TV show appearances, on video games. This dude has done it all, poetry, all that. So I would have to say the biggest influence out of the Midwest for me was no other than Common, because he had lyrics. And let me give a quick shout out to all other Midwesterners. We got Nelly, we got Little Dirk, we got Eminem, we got Twister, Jay Dilla, Slum Village, Hey in the Barn, Crucial Conflict. Big up to all the Midwesterners out there. That's what we rocking out to. And those are my top 5 picks for today. Let's get back to the Remix Morning Show, y'all. All right. All right, Kim, what you got to say?
I'm about to say, can I add some honorable mentions? Can I throw in some honorable mentions? Honorable mentions. Rhyme Fest out of Chicago. Honorable mention. The Brat out of Chicago. Honorable mention. Shauna. One time for Shauna out of Chicago.
Shauna. Wow.
And of course, the chat is all on this. Twister. How you not throwing Twister in your mix?
I did throw in Twister. I said Twister.
Oh, my bad.
I ain't put him as the top 5, as my top 5, because like he's very good with the but as in trying to get some content.
Hey, but again, Ear Doctor, you know how I feel about your taste. You are an East Coast rap music snob, and the fact that you'd even throw Bone Thugs in there, I guess Bone Thugs ain't Midwest, huh?
I mean, listen, somebody had to show the love. Thank you for posting that up there. I would assume it's Kalanji, but Kalanji loves to point out the love I get. Anyway, so that's my list. I'm sure everybody has
a good list, man. I'm messing with you, man.
But that's what it is. So I know we got one of the hip hop grandfathers, admirals of this joint coming up. So I know he got something to say about it too. So that's what it is. If y'all want me to stick back around, I come through. But rock out on this hip hop joint, and I catch y'all. Peace.
No doubt. We'll bring you back on, sir.
I appreciate these lists. I love these lists, though, Ear Doctor, because I think it's important that we continue to have dialogues around hip hop, and especially around Gen X generation of hip hop, because the younger kids don't care about it, and it's gonna die, and no one's gonna talk about the artists from our day. So I think it's very important that we absolutely big up when big ups is time to be big and upped.
I thought that Ear Doctor was going to run out of the top 5 like 2 weeks ago. So I'm saying he came up with everything possible you could do in the top 5. But Ear Doctor got, boy, this dude right here. Next week, next show, we're going to be like top 5 Congo players. And
hey, let's do it. Hey, there's a lot of places he could go. Top 5 at Georgia rappers, top 5 Florida rappers, top 5 New York, top. You
get them all kinds of ideas now. This top 5 will never die.
Go see that movie with Chris Rock and Rosario Dawson. Top 5. Y'all ever seen that?
Hey,
it was all right.
Speaking of top 5, we got a brother who's no stranger. It is Hip Hop History Month, so we want to bring on our good brother Minister Server in a second. So stay tuned. Minister Server in the building. Remix Morning Show. What up?
Woo.
Yeah.
Server in the building. What's up, baby?
Everything's good, brother. Burn it down with Kim Brown. Yo, nice meeting you on the line. I've been seeing you giving my brother Kalanji a run. So, yeah, I'm loving that.
Good morning, Minister Server. Thank you so much, man. You know I'm here to give Kalanji the blues. That is my role on this air program.
And she does it well, just like you do, Server. So I like that hoodie, Server. Then we used to have a show called Renegade Coach.
Hoodie season.
That's right, baby.
Hoodie season.
Yeah. Anyway, we here today we invited you on. I know that folks in the chat like, yo, where's Server at? So we had to bring Server on today because of the fact that we know that it's a very important month. And, you know, a lot of times folks talk about it in passing. But Minister Server, I've been knowing Minister Server damn near 20 years. And, you know, he was, I mean, his track record is bananas. So I'm going to let him get to it because I'm kind of stung on it. But let the folks know some of your history in hip hop as far as from the organizing side of things, sir.
Yeah, yo, big up to the whole BPM team, man. I love what's happening, you know, on this network. Big up to the most amazing chat anywhere on the ReMix Morning Show. As far as my background, you know, I've been involved in hip hop in the last, 30 plus years, organizing wise. Started off in Atlanta with Nation Time Syndicate, which is one of the first hip hop collectives in Atlanta. That was in 1992. And from there, started working with KRS-One. I was the spiritual advisor and national organizer with the Temple of Hip Hop for a few years. The district manager for the Universal Zulu Nation for the state of Georgia. The director of humanities for Generation Hip Hop, which is a global hip hop network of 62 countries. That's the youth empowerment and leadership movement. Also on the committee for the Universal Education and Artists Relations Committee for the Universal Hip Hop Museum. Also the official minister for FTP. People don't know that, you know what I'm saying? The official minister for FTP as well. So, you know, my thing is being able to use hip hop for what I believe is the original purpose, which is to help us be our better selves. It's another extension of our African culture. So when we talk about hip hop, from the door, we use the acronym HIP, Higher Infinite Power, Healing Our People. And I am the founding director of Hip Hop Ministries. And we are a spiritual, cultural, political hip hop movement. And, you know, I've, hosted some radio shows and co-produced some podcasts, Renegade Culture, one of them. So, I'm just here to serve in whatever way that the creator and the ancestors allowed me to serve our people. Hip hop, the way that we use hip hop, as we say, rap is something you do, hip hop is something you live. There's a number of different ways that we can serve the community through hip hop culture. And I'm just honored to be a part of that, yo.
No doubt, no doubt. Also, you can catch him on a few of KRS-One tracks, from I think you own like 3 or 4 of his tracks, whatever.
The album is Keep Right. That was 16 years ago, 17 years ago, now 2004. Keep Right. I'm on about 4 or 5 songs in there. I got a solo song in there with KRS-One, but the proudest moment that I have on that album is a 1 and 3 second spoken word piece called Dream. And I tell people that's the foundation of Higher Infinite Power, Healing Our People ministry. 1 and 3 seconds. You know what I'm saying? So, this ain't complex. I keep it mad simple. I know a lot of smart people that want to complicate simple wisdom, but I try to do the exact opposite. Things that I teach, I can teach to a 5-year-old.
Word up. And also, what was that? The Hip Hop Bible. What's the name of the Bible that
the Gospel Hip Hop book. Yeah, the Gospel Hip Hop, which is the book that came out in 2009 that was presented by KRS-One for the Temple of Hip Hop. KRS is the primary writer, but myself and about 10 other people helped to contribute that. It's the first book that's actually dealing with the historical, spiritual, and prophetic consciousness of hip hop culture. So big up to Blastmaster KRS-One, the teacher, for just his courage and vision. Kalanji's main man, whatnot.
Whatever. Anyway, we ain't gonna get into that. One time, KRS and Server tried to jump me, but I ain't gonna tell you. I'll tell y'all that at another location, another time.
Man, I gotta tell that story one day. Kalanji is one of the funniest dudes ever. Y'all already know that, but I gotta tell that story one of these days on here. It was hilarious. Every time I think about it, it cracked me up because it's so Kalanji.
Hey, there's no other day like today, Minister Server. Come on, bless us with story time. We would love to hear some Kalanji stories not told by Kalanji.
Okay, listen, this is a quick version. This is 2009, doing Hip Hop Appreciation Week in Atlanta. And any one of those KRS-One, whenever he comes to town and he's there for a period of time, he'll do a concert, he'll do a lecture, he'll do something from the Temple of Hip Hop. Well, he was doing a lecture at Criminal Records, and anybody knows KRS-One, he's known for hyperbole and drama and all that type of stuff. And I got to the lecture late, so I didn't hear everything that was said in the lecture. But I got there in time for the Q&A. And when it came time for the Q&A, Kalonji, the first thing Kalonji said was, "Yo, Chris, I rock with your music. You my man. But when it comes to all that philosophy and all that other stuff, you can leave all that." Then he said, "Also, for you white people out of here, all that stuff that KRS said about using the word nigga, I wouldn't advise none of y'all to ever try that." Yo, I took a picture of KRS-One and Kalonji. I wish I had that picture to put up. If you see Kalonji's face in this picture, it tells the whole story of what went on that night. But anyway.
Yeah. Listen, man.
Kalonji said all that shit KRS-One said, just did all that shit, dog. If you come
Don't
out here,
do it in real life. Don't do it in real life.
Listen, man.
I respect that, Kalonji. I respect, bro.
I appreciate Server for giving you the G-rated version on top of that. That was absolutely the G-rated version. And Cass was like, "Yo, man, you see how big KRS is, man? Look, man, fuck that. We talking about the movement." But anyway, enough of that. I ain't bring you on here to tell you have you tell no stories about me. What's going on with Hip Hop Appreciation Month? That's what I brought you on here for.
Well, we've been celebrating Hip Hop History Month, since like '74. But this year is the first year that it's actually recognized. This past summer, the U.S. Senate passed Senate Resolution 331, which cemented work that we've been doing, like I said, for the past 20, 30 years, and recognized August 11th, 1973 as the birth of hip hop, the founding of hip hop. August as Hip Hop Recognition Month, and November as Hip Hop History Month. I was blessed to be a part of the team that actually wrote Senate Resolution 331, so I'm proud to be a part of that. But we've been celebrating Hip Hop History Month. So this month in Atlanta, we have an event. We actually have two events coming up this coming Sunday, November 28th. We're doing at Hillside International Truth Center. They're doing their first ever Hip Hop Word Sunday, and I'm the keynote speaker there. We're going to have Nisha Nice, who's going to be the performing artist. And, it's a side note, Hillside International Truth Center is my home church. And yet this is my first time speaking there in 18 years because I'm so hip hop. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. Later on that afternoon, we're doing our event, which is Food for the Spirit, Holistic Hip Hop Experience. And we're celebrating and honoring 3 Atlanta hip hop pioneers, MC Shy D, King Edward J, who's considered like the Cool Herc of Atlanta, and Easy T, who was the first female to have a rap record in Atlanta. This event is being done in collaboration with the Universal Hip Hop Museum, with FTP, with Community Movement Builders, with Inspired Truth Center. So it's a real community event, and we want all the people. It's a free, family-friendly event as well. Now we don't have enough family events in hip hop, but that's a whole other conversation as well. But we want everyone to come out so we can celebrate our hometown heroes. As I said, it's in collaboration with the Universal Hip Hop Museum, and we want to make sure that we are honoring those that have helped pave the way for hip hop culture, particularly some of the unsung people. When people talk about Atlanta, they typically start right at Outkast and Dungeon Family, and we love them. They're our brothers, but we want to make sure that we go back to talk about the people that influenced them. So this coming Sunday, make sure that if you are in the Atlanta area, we're also going to stream it as well. Come out to help us celebrate King Edward J, MC Shy D, and Easy T in Atlanta.
I appreciate that, Minister Server. And I wanted to ask and just sort of get your opinion about the preservation of hip hop history. And I'm of the belief that, if even if you are a young person and you're living through this particular era of rap and hip hop, or if you're middle-aged or older and our prime our prime days are a little bit behind us, but how can we how can we as individuals help to preserve the culture? Because what I see, at least from my perspective, and please correct me if you see it differently, but from where I sit, I feel as though so much of the specifically rap contributions during the 80s and 90s are just getting forgotten or getting erased. And it really makes me reminiscent of like the 1950s and 60s, like early R&B and soul artists, like these doo-wop artists or the early soul folks, whom may have had small names, but they were very big influencers on the bigger stars that came out of that era. And I feel as though like that we're kind of experiencing that right now. So what can people who grew up as hip hoppers, as rap heads, what can we do on an individual basis in order to help preserve the history of hip hop of our generation?
Great question. Look, just two things though. Our best years are not behind us.
Okay.
I'm in my hip hop grandpa phase, and I'm living my best life. So don't believe the hype about our best years behind us. We're just getting started with this. But the way that we do it is that's why the Universal Hip Hop Museum exists, because history is told by those that document it and tell their story.
That's right.
So if we are not telling our story, which is why again, with all of the people that we have that are part of the Universal Hip Hop Museum around the country and around the world, what we want to be able to is, just like you said, tell some of those stories for the people that may not be as well known. Some people, particularly those that before the music industry got involved. So one of the things that we can do is most certainly go to universalhiphopmuseum.org. There's a virtual timeline. We did the first timeline from 1980 to 1985. The next one's going to come out in January. We just broke ground this past May 20th. The physical building, which is going to be up in the Bronx at the Bronx Terminal Market in New York, will not open until 2024. So the things that we're doing now are, gathering the memorabilia, gathering the stories, gathering the people to tell those stories. But the way that we really preserve hip hop is by preserving the hip hop, by preserving each other. You know what I'm saying? The elements have been around for thousands of years. They're not going anywhere. But for those of us that claim the culture, if we don't love and care and nurture and support each other, that's how the culture died. So along with finding out about the information, listen to the music, we got to, the essence of hip hop is, using these elements, peace, breaking MCing, graffiti, and DJing to achieve peace, unity, love, and safely having fun. We got to get back to that. We can't allow the entertainment industry, the corporations, to dictate what the culture is. Now, some people, obviously, they don't care about the culture. They're just into the corporation. But what we like to tell people is that hip-hop culture starts in 73. Hip-hop entertainment doesn't start till 79 with Rappers Delight. So we don't really need the corporations as much as people think. But, like every other culture, hip-hop is a culture. If you're not called for it or called to it, then it might not mean anything to you. You might just like rap music, and that's okay. But we say rap is something you do, hip-hop is something you live. We're not doing hip-hop. We are hip-hop. So for those that want to find out more about it, there are a number of people and organizations that you can get information from. Well, certainly holler at me. I'm here to be of service. I'm glad that the international community allows me to be the minister beyond religion, because I don't do religion at all. Your religion is none of my business. But because we do serve a higher infinite power healing our people, hip hop, we can get down whatever way we want. And for me, as I said, I'm in the hip hop grandpa phase of life. So everything that I do in my own heart and mind, I believe I'm hoping to create a better world for my children and my children's children.
Word up. Hey, man, we got to wrap, but I want folks to know that Minister Server, when we say Minister Server, it's not like Dr. Dre, you know what I'm saying? He's actually an ordained minister, theology and theologian and all that type of stuff. You can tell them a little bit about that, Server, real quick.
Well, yeah, appreciate you saying that, Kalonji, because I love hip hop. I love the creativity and hip hop, in the spirit of Kuji Chagalia, of how we name ourselves whatever we want and call ourselves whatever we want. I love that. But I tell people in 2000, when I went to ministry school, I went specifically for the Atlanta hip hop community. I knew that there were a lot of people just like me that wanted to understand how to activate the divinity within without religion, because religion, I respect everybody's religion, but religion just in its very nature divides. Because at the end of the day, if you don't agree with what I say and the name and what the foods that I eat, you're going to tell me to go to hell forever and ever and ever and ever. That's what every religion does, with all due respect. But our spirituality lets us know that that's not the way it needs to be. So in 2003, KRS One was actually there at my graduation and ordination. So, and in 2005, when Kool Herc, Grandmaster Caz, Melly Mel, Kool Mo D, and all of them appointed me as the minister of hip hop culture internationally, that's something that I take serious. It's not a play thing for me. It's my actual life. So, big up for all the people that are out there, but hip hop for me is a higher infinite power healing our people. It's a connection to our ancient African selves, our ancestors that paved the way. It's another connection from the Black nationalist movement, the civil rights movement. We are the next natural extension to that. We kind of got confused. The 40 to 60 kind of got confused because we started buying more into the corporation. But we're here to make sure things stay in order. So big up to y'all for having me on here. I know we talked about before me doing the show. We are still doing the show eventually, but there's some things that we need to take care internally because all the shows on Black Power Media are dope and on point, and we ain't want to come half-assed with our stuff before we present it. You know what I'm saying? So stay tuned. The Conscious Zone is on the way. Black Power Media. Oh.
Word. Anyway, man, we gonna wrap you later on. I see this weekend, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And in the mortal words of Redman, I don't know. I was just making up some shit. Anyway,
I'm like, yes, Redman.
I was thinking about high. I wasn't gonna say that on here, but anyway, man, we gonna catch you in a few ticks, brother.
Yeah, sure. Yo, for the people down in Atlanta, come out and celebrate our hometown heroes, y'all. Give them their props while they're alive. Heartbeat props. Word.
No doubt. Word. And we out. ReMix Morning Show. Be safe out there, server.
Thank you, Minister Server.
Yes. You're checking out the ReMix Morning Show. And
I thought we was gonna have a little interlude, don't we?
Yeah, we about to do that right now. Check this out. Okay. Interlude right about now. Bing. Remix. Okay. Well, perhaps not.
Right. Y'all want to talk shit about me screen sharing? I can tell May off this morning. Is Miss May off this morning? Yup, show is. Because Kalanji having trouble working the buttons.
Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna free.
Go.
Surprise. Kaboom. Guess who stepped in the room? Look at Jackie cutting out on work. What's happening?
Just a little teeny bit. Just
Okay. Jackie had the spirit to burn it down before she left, set the shit on fire and left the building.
That's how
back.
You do. You throw the Molotov and then you walk away.
That's
you don't hang out to see what happens.
That's you talking about. Yes, what she said. You throw the Molotov cocktail, then you walk away.
Keep it moving. Just yes.
No doubt.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I share with y'all an observation that I am just making right now? So we have 100 people watching right now. Thank you all so much. Be sure to hit the like and the thumbs up on all that. Okay. But we have no dislikes. But I've noticed that when our learned good brother Dr. Jared Ball is on, there's usually at least two thumbs down.
Are you insinuating something?
I'm thinking them thumbs downs is for Jared's. I don't think them thumbs down is for all of us.
But wait a minute, is another light-skinned character that's not on here either today. So it could go either way.
Them choices might be for Kamal, or it might just be thumbs down to the extra light skins. That's what I think.
And especially since Kamal keep threatening, with the topless dance. If we hit it, and he keep reneging on it, people don't be liking that.
Well,
thank you.
I like that he's reneging on it.
Don't talk, Kamal, because what have you offered? What have you offered in the service of Black Power Media?
Oh, Kalanji, she said.
Kalanji, sorry.
What about offering in the service of Black Power Media? Riot Starter TV. Matter of fact, no, it's not good enough. Hey, listen,
noticing
man.
there's a lot of K's and J's in
A
this.
lot of K's and J's.
A lot of K's and J's around here.
Shout out to the KJs up in this piece. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
4 thumbs
yes.
down now. Y'all some haters. What the fuck's going on?
That was not a call for you all to push the thumbs down, but what is wrong with you?
Y'all are messing up
Yeah.
my theory that them thumbs downs is for Jared. For
man.
Jared and Kalanji. Now
So-
y'all have destroyed
so-
my theory.
Some of the people in the chat are remedial, so we got to go ahead and deal with that. Oh, they want us to do a thumbs down. Damn, I
No,
forgot
we
to do
don't.
thumbs down.
We
But
Want you to
we
do
appreciate
a
you. We know
down.
we know you're still here. Now put them motherfuckers back up.
Oh,
But anyway,
Lord.
yeah. So as I was talking earlier, man, this week has been a serious week in our history. One, like I said, we remember Akai Gurley, who was murdered on the 20th of November. Katherine Johnston, who was murdered on the 21st. Tamir Rice, who was murdered on the 22nd. And Sean Bell, who was either the 25th or the 26th of this month. Now, I don't like to just leave you all with a bunch of grief. You know what I mean? So what I wanted to do, I reached out to one of the comrades a while ago, and he agreed to come on today because he has a book out called We Will Shoot Back. So I'm thinking about, now I might do a live Riot Starter TV today dealing with armed resistance, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I just did something yesterday, so we just might have to wait on that. I'm not sure. But y'all can let us know in the chat if you're interested in checking out a show on armed resistance, talking about the victories and where we have gone. Because we talk so much about, you know, I hear so many people talking about, I am not my grandparents. We know you're not because you're a punk.
Right.
So,
Grandparents was with the shits.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Your punk ass typing on the internet talking about what you not about, and they live through that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's a difference. You know what I mean? So anybody never ready for another edition, let us know. And this is what I'll do, right? I'm gonna make it easy for you. You know, I'm sorry about this shameless promotion. It's 4 BPM, but I'm gonna say this right here. If you want to see this particular show that I'm talking about today, what I need you to do is tweet out yesterday's show. Go on Twitter, tag us in it, or whatever, at Kalanji Changa, at Black Power Media, the one we did yesterday on Malcolm. If you do that, if we get enough, we'll do this show live today. If not, then we'll save that for another date. All right? That's my contribution, because I ain't getting naked. I don't care what Jackie talking about.
Half naked, half
It's
naked.
not-
No
it's
one
not
said
even-
all the way naked,
No,
just half.
just-
Waist up.
No. What the hell wrong with y'all?
What do you mean? No.
Dad bod. Come on, Kalanji.
Well, look at this.
You just out here flossing that dad bod around. You not trying to show people. Like, that's not nice.
I'm a Muslim man. I'm trying. I'm gonna.
So what that mean? You don't use condoms?
And on that note, I might just have to excuse myself. That was,
I'm leaving with you.
oh
Don't
my.
trip. Anyway,
My bad.
my.
I didn't even say that out loud. I was supposed to stay in the old noggin. That
thank you.
escaped.
I don't even know what the hell to say after that. Anyway, what we got coming up this week, man? Boy,
I'm so
look at this,
sorry. My bad.
man. Jackie Lukeman, what's going on By Any Means Necessary?
Oh my gosh! So earlier, yesterday we talked to Baba Zach Kondo about his book and about the Malcolm X stuff too. Today we are digging on the No More protests that are spreading from Ethiopia throughout the diaspora. What else we talking about today, Sean?
On the show?
Yeah, what else we talking about today?
Something about the
talking
show.
about a street that's been named for Akai Gurley, who was killed by NYPD in Brooklyn back in 2014. Going to be talking about Ethiopia and the No More protests and how it's spreading to other parts of Africa like Burkina Faso, and also having our weekly tech segment as well.
Yep.
Right on,
So
right on.
that's what we're doing on By Any Means Necessary today. That's my real job that I have to go and do now, because I see that Kalanji still has his shirt on, and I don't understand.
Y'all had to come with a whole lot of, boy, look here, we got to get to a whole lot of subscription to get Kalanji's shirt off. Plus, I probably had 8 too many kegs of beer, so I might have to just work on things. You know what I'm saying?
I thought you was a Muslim man.
See,
he just said
hey,
he
a
was
minute ago
hey,
he was a Muslim man. Now he eating kegs of beer.
Hey, what your boy say? I have sinned. Anyway, Billy Graham.
Goodbye, y'all.
but
See ya,
definitely check out by any means. And tomorrow we're going to talk more about those here on Black Power Media. I'll probably bring on a guest to talk about what's been going on with hashtag No More. I was able to check out some of what's happening here in Atlanta. The mainstream media has not covered the tens of thousands of folks internationally that protested this past Saturday. I encourage you to go to Riot Starter TV. Actually did a show last week dealing with the civil war in Ethiopia. It had 2 great professors on, and you can get kind of a fuller understanding of what's going on. There's a serious war going on in Ethiopia. So like I said, if you missed that particular episode, go check it out. But burn it down, Kim Brown. Anything happening today around your way?
So I'm kind of going back and forth as to whether or not to put together like an actual show where I'm talking about like topics, or given the fact that this is the holiday week, maybe I'll just do the turkeys of 2021. And it'd be full of all y'all favorite people. It'd be Kamala Harris. It would be Joe Biden. It would be Marilyn Mosby. It would be a certain famous rap couple out of Atlanta that I won't mention. But they will be they will be in the turkeys too. There's a lot of turkeys. There's a lot
21
so
turkeys.
many turkeys to go around.
Yes. Well, I'm looking forward to that show as well. And thank you to Kim because of the fact that today's Kim's day off. If you all haven't noticed, if y'all don't follow the schedule, you know what I'm saying? It's her day off on the Remix Morning Show. She agreed to come in and
of course
and bump knuckles with us.
For sure.
Along with Jackie. But definitely, man, we appreciate you all, and we will see you all tomorrow on the Remix Morning Show. Ear Doctor, you got something you want to take us out with, or you just gonna I see you now took off your crown.
You're not Inspector Gadget no more.
He took off his joint.
My head was getting hot.
Okay. You got a little hot-headed. Anyway.
A little hot-headed.
Checking out the Remix Morning Show. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Ear Doctor, take us out with something nice, brother.
Let's do it like this.
Those who can't be themselves shall be destroyed. Students, listen to the lesson I'll be teaching. Learn by holding intellect and some teachers. Ready what is spoken through the speaker.
Shout out to Wise Intelligence.
Freestyle, no headphones, y'all. Let's get it.
White lie.
Vision, dreams of passion. And all the while I think of you. Oh, it's strange reaction. The more I see, the more I do. Baby.
And I was joking on them kegs, y'all. Don't get it twisted. Here, Doctor, in the building.
Saying you want more. The sound is hype, and we're sure that you feel real good when you're part of a kid and play adventure.
I think it's time to make the floor burn. What I'm saying is, it's your turn to do things you've always wanted to. Here's the jam for kid and play to you.
Listen up to what I'm saying here, work it out. And you ain't staying here.
True place, and true bet you know this. Listen close, don't blow this.
1990, jump rock,
jump on the scene with the lean in the pocket full of green.
Yo, that's enough.
It was a shock. Hey,
yo, we out of here, man. We catch y'all tomorrow. We had to rock out, get y'all hype. Catch y'all in the morning, 8 a.m. right here, the Remix Morning Show, y'all.
Yes, man. You got it. Black Power Media. Stay tuned.
See y'all.